looked to rebuild, a teenage storm hit them hard. Enter Kobani Makona. The 19-year-old seamer, playing only his second Betway SA20 match, delivered a sensational spell, 4 for 34, including the prized power play wicket of Quinton de Kock. Backing him up was Otniel Bartman, enjoying a return to familiar territory with figures of 3 for 36. The Sunrisers never recovered from those blows. Chasing 150, the Royals' innings began in chaos. Marco Jansen and Anrich Nortje tore through the top order, reducing Paarl to a disastrous 35 for 4. Back in the pavilion were Luandre Pretorius, Asa Tribe, Ruben Herman, and Kyle Verin. Jansen also reached a major milestone, his 50th Betway SA20 wicket, underlining his dominance. At that moment, the match was slipping away. That's when the captain walked in. With calm authority and ruthless precision, David Miller absorbed the pressure and began rebuilding the innings. He found the perfect partner in Keegan Lyon-Cachet, the rising star who played beyond his years. Lyon-Cachet contributed a crucial 45 off 40 balls, rotating strike and holding firm while Miller went on the attack. Together, they stitched a match-defining 114-run partnership for the fifth wicket, completely changing the momentum. Miller was relentless. Sixes flowed. Gaps opened. The required rate collapsed. Lyon-Cachet fell just short of the finish line, but by then, the damage was done. As the game tightened, the St. George's Park crowd roared, hoping for a super over to cap off New Year's Eve. Instead, heartbreak. A wide ball from Lewis Gregory sealed the deal, confirming Paarl Royals' victory with 2 balls remaining and 5 wickets in hand. David Miller finished unbeaten on a commanding 71 off just 38 deliveries, a knock packed with authority, timing, and leadership. This win was more than just 2 points for the Royals. It lifted them off the bottom of the table, restoring belief after a tough start to the season. For the Sunrisers, despite the loss, they remained top of the Betway SA20 standings with 10 points, heading into the new year firmly in control. The night belonged to David Miller, and the awards confirmed it. Player of the Match, David Miller. Its reigning Sixes Award, David Miller, 5 sixes. Switch Game Changer, David Miller. ABSA Moneyball Saver, Bjorn Fortuin, 14 balls. DP World Dispatch of the Day, Jordan Herman. Leadership. Composure. Class. New Year's Eve belonged to the Sunrisers, until David Miller decided otherwise. A captain's innings. A teenage sensation announced, and a season-defining win for Paarl Royals. What did you make of Miller's knock, one of the best chases in SA20 history so far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. MI Cape Town's title defense is officially in crisis. At Newlands, a ground known for big scores, they collapsed to a shocking 88 all-out. What followed was a ruthless response from Paarl Royals, powered by a spin masterclass and a calm finish from David Miller. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a statement. MI Cape Town entered this match under pressure, having already lost 3 of their first 4 games. Choosing to bat first at a traditionally high-scoring venue, they hoped to reset their campaign. Instead, they ran straight into a disciplined and clever Paarl Royals bowling attack. From the outset, the Royals dictated terms. Spin was introduced early through Bjorn Fortuin, while pace duties were smartly rotated between Kobani Makona and Otniel Bartman. The result was suffocating. MI Cape Town crawled to just 33 runs in the power play, hitting only 2 boundaries. Both openers were dismissed cheaply. Rassie van der Dussen sliced Sikander Raza to square leg, and Ryan Rickelton miscued Makona to mid-off. At the halfway stage, MI Cape Town were 53 for 2, and the pressure only intensified. The turning point came with Sikander Raza completely taking control. Jason Smith, under scrutiny after his surprise T20 World Cup selection, failed to deliver, bowled by Raza for just 4. Moments later, George Linda offered a simple return catch, and Rashid Khan mishit a slog, with David Miller completing a sharp catch in the deep. Raza finished with a stunning 4 for 13, backed superbly by Bartman's 2 for 8 and Makona's 2 for 10. MI Cape Town were bowled out for 88, their lowest ever SA20 score batting first, and the lowest first innings total at Newlands in the competition's history. Chasing just 89, the Royals had a brief wobble when Luandre Pretorius was dismissed by a trademark Trent Bolt outswinger. Ruben Herman survived an early scare, and that moment proved crucial. It was SA20 who took the game away. Confident, composed, and fearless, Tribe attacked both Bolt and Kagiso Rabada, smashing boundaries and sixes to put the result beyond doubt inside the power play. He raced to 34 off 28 balls, setting the tone for a stress-free chase. Although both Tribe and Herman fell before the finish, there was no drama. Kyle Verin and captain David Miller closed it out, with Miller sealing the win in style with a 6. Paarl Royals reached the target in just 13 overs, securing a 7-wicket bonus point victory and completing a historic first win over MI Cape Town at Newlands. This result sends both teams in opposite directions. MI Cape Town now sit bottom of the table with 4 losses in 5 games and fading playoff hopes. With half the league stage done, they need immediate wins, and help from other results, to stay alive. For Paarl Royals, this was a complete performance. After a heavy opening match defeat, they bounced back with 3 straight wins, climbing to second place on the table, just 2 points behind Joburg Super Kings. Sikandar Raza has been a revelation, finishing player of the match with 75.2% of the fan vote, and sitting third on the tournament's wicket charts. Supported by young talent like Makona and the experience of Bartman, the Royals now look like genuine title contenders. A record collapse, a spin-driven demolition, and a captain sealing victory with a 6, this Western Cape Derby belonged entirely to Paarl Royals. For MI Cape Town, the alarm bells are ringing loud. Can they still turn their season around, or is this SA20 campaign slipping away? Let us know your thoughts. Rain, pressure, playoff hopes on the line, and one unexpected hero rises. At Newlands, MI Cape Town finally found a way to win, not with their biggest stars, but through pure nerve at the death. Against a confident Joburg Super Kings, this rain-hit thriller flipped the script in just 7 balls. This was not just a 4-wicket win. This was survival. This was the 15th match of the season, and also the halfway point of the league. Before a ball was bowled, the table was split clean in 2. MI Cape Town, Pretoria Capitals, and Durban Super Giants had just 1 win each. Meanwhile, Sunrisers Eastern Cape, Joburg Super Kings, and Paarl Royals had already won 3. For MI Cape Town, this game was must-win territory. After an earlier washout and repeated struggles, another defeat could have pushed them out of playoff contention. Joburg Super Kings, sitting second, were looking to tighten their grip on the top 4. Rain had other plans, and with it came chaos. After an hour-long rain delay, MI Cape Town chose to bowl first, and paid the price early. Enter Faf du Plessis. No longer part of the international setup, but still very much elite, du Plessis produced a masterclass in the power play. He respected Kagiso Rabada for 1 ball, then took him apart. Cuts, drives, flicks, even a toe-ended boundary. Against Trent Bolt, the battle of experience tilted firmly in Faf's favor. 7 fours, 2 sixes, 44 off just 21 balls. By the end of the power play, Joburg Super Kings were flying at 69 for 2, with du Plessis unbeaten on 43. But once the rain returned and the innings shortened, everything changed. With 8 overs lost, JSK had no option but to attack. And that's where things unraveled. Du Plessis mistimed a big hit after the restart and was brilliantly caught by Reza Hendricks in a moment of elite field awareness. Donovan Ferreira, fresh from World Cup selection, followed soon after, undone by his own aggression. In the second half of the innings, Joburg Super Kings lost 5 wickets for just 54 runs. The standout performers: Corbin Bosch with 3 for 24. Rashid Khan with 2 for 23. Ironically, the star pacers struggled. Bolt and Rabada conceded 56 runs in just 4 overs, continuing a worrying trend for MICT. JSK finished on 123 for 7, competitive, but not commanding. Chasing 128 in 12 overs, MI Cape Town needed intent, and they found it early through spin resistance and raw power. Ryan Rickelton fell cheaply, but that triggered a bold move. Nicholas Pooran was promoted to number 3, and the stadium woke up. 5 sixes. Clean striking. Pure confidence. Pooran dismantled Akil Hossain, Prenelan Subrayan, and even sent Richard Gleeson into the crowd. Just as he looked unstoppable, Nandre Berger, playing his first match of the season, rolled his fingers over a slower ball. Pooran fell for 33, and suddenly, MICT were 95 for 5. Pressure back on. Before the next ball, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay locked in for all the biggest match stories, analysis, and turning points right here on Sports Review. This is where the story becomes unforgettable. Jason Smith, South Africa's surprise T20 World Cup pick, walked in during the 9th over. The equation. 39 runs needed from 19 balls. Momentum slipping. Crowd tense. Smith needed just 7 balls, 3 sixes. 22 runs. Total belief. Suddenly, it was 12 needed from 8 balls. Kareem Janat and Corbin Bosch calmly finished the job, sealing MI Cape Town's first home win of the season, a 4-wicket victory by DLS method. This win doesn't lift MI Cape Town off the bottom of the table, but it breathes life into their campaign. For Joburg Super Kings, it's a missed opportunity in a shortened game where support for Faf du Plessis never arrived. For MICT, it's a reminder that tournaments don't turn on star names alone, sometimes, they turn on 7 fearless deliveries. Welcome back to Sports Review. In the third match of SA20 25-26, we witnessed one of the most dominant performances of the tournament so far. At Boland Park, the Sunrisers Eastern Cape dismantled the Paarl Royals in a one-sided contest that ended with a massive 137-run victory. The visitors did not just win, they delivered a statement that will echo through this season. A complete performance with bat and ball, a collapse from the Royals, and a bonus point win to go top of the table. Sunrisers Eastern Cape elected to bat first and immediately took control. Johnny Bairstow and Quinton de Kock opened with intent, racing to 66 for the first wicket. Their partnership laid the perfect platform, forcing Paarl Royals onto the back foot from the start. A brilliant catch broke the stand, but the momentum remained firmly with the Sunrisers as they reached 186 for 4, one of the most commanding totals seen at the venue this season. The turning point in the innings came when Matthew Breitsk and Jordan Herman took charge in the final overs. Their 73-run partnership from 41 balls finished the innings in ruthless fashion. Herman reached a quick-fire 50, while Breitsk punished anything off target. The final 4 overs produced 57 runs, and suddenly the target became a mountain for the Royals. Chasing 187, the Royals were in trouble immediately. Early wickets shut down any chance of momentum. Within minutes, the scoreboard reflected the pressure, the top order gone, the middle order exposed, and no one able to build a partnership. Wickets fell rapidly, and the chase never recovered. The Sunrisers' attack delivered a masterclass. Anrich Norch was the standout performer, claiming 4 for 13 with pace, bounce, and accuracy. His spell broke the Royals' backbone and ensured the momentum never shifted. Others around him supported the effort with disciplined lines and sharp fielding that turned pressure into breakthroughs. The innings ended at just 49 runs, the lowest total of the season, completed in only 11.5 overs. With this victory, the Sunrisers Eastern Cape jumped to the top of the table. Their batting depth, pace attack, and closing control all point toward a team ready to challenge for the title. The Royals, meanwhile, will need answers. Their batting approach, shot selection, and stability under pressure will be key areas to address moving forward. A powerhouse display from Sunrisers Eastern Cape and a night to forget for Paarl Royals. What does this mean for the tournament ahead? Can the Royals bounce back, or has a title contender already separated itself from the pack? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe for more SA20 match breakdowns, and stay tuned for our next coverage. Today on Sports Review, a dramatic turnaround in the SA20 at Supersport Park where Joburg Super Kings snapped their Centurion curse with a commanding 22-run victory over the Pretoria Capitals. The match flipped on its head after a dominant start by the Capitals, only for one bowler to take control and rewrite the story. Let's break it down. The Pretoria Capitals opted to bowl first, and early on the decision looked correct. Faf du Plessis and Matthew de Villiers fell inside the power play, leaving JSK at 16 for 2. The innings needed rebuilding, and that is exactly what Riley Rosso and Wyan Mulder provided. Rosso struck 48 from 33 balls, while Mulder added 43 from 28. Their partnership rebuilt momentum and brought stability to the innings. As they attacked the spinners and rotated strike effectively, JSK pushed forward. Later, Akil Hossain added crucial late runs to push the total to 168 for 6, a score that looked competitive but not dominating on a batting-friendly pitch. Chasing 169, the Capitals came out firing. Will Smead and Bryce Parsons put on a confident 71-run opening stand, with Smead scoring 34 and Parsons 41. At that point, Pretoria looked in full control and the Super Kings were struggling for answers. The required rate was comfortable, momentum was on the Capitals' side, and a successful chase looked likely. Everything changed the moment Duan Jansen came into the attack. Delivering a career-best spell, he finished with figures of 4 for 23, hitting a hard length and forcing errors from the batters. From 71 without loss, the Capitals crashed to 89 for 5. Pressure built, the run rate climbed, and panic set in. From there, JSK controlled the game. Richard Gleeson and Wyan Mulder backed Jansen with disciplined bowling, shutting down scoring options. The Capitals never recovered from the collapse and eventually finished at 146 for 9, falling 22 runs short. This victory marked Joburg Super Kings' first ever win at SuperSport Park in 4 SA20 seasons, breaking a long-standing drought at the venue. It proved they could defend totals under pressure and highlighted the strength of their bowling attack when it mattered most. For Pretoria, the match exposed middle-order vulnerability and showed how quickly momentum can shift in T20 cricket. A brilliant comeback from JSK, a statement performance from Duan Jansen, and a collapse Pretoria will want to forget. If this game is a sign of what's ahead in SA20 2025, we're in for a thrilling season. This is Sports Review. Like, comment, and subscribe for more breakdowns and highlights. What happens when a target of 177 feels like nothing more than net practice? In Centurion, Sunrisers Eastern Cape delivered one of the most dominant chases in SA20 history, a night where Pretoria Capitals had no answers, no control, and no comeback. This wasn't just a win. This was a statement. The 14th match of SA20 saw Pretoria Capitals win the toss and make a bold call, batting first under lights at Centurion, a venue famously known for favoring the chase. That decision quickly came back to haunt them. Despite half-centuries from Connor Esterhuizen and Sherfane Rutherford, Pretoria Capitals never truly gained momentum. Their innings lacked fluency and rhythm against a sharp and disciplined Sunrisers Eastern Cape bowling attack. Anrich Nortje was relentless, operating at full throttle to finish with 3 for 32, while Adam Milne smartly varied his pace to pick up 2 for 36. Lewis Gregory was equally impressive, strangling the run flow with an economy rate of just 4.5. Pretoria Capitals eventually crawled to 176 for 7, a total that felt at least 20 runs short. For Connor Esterhuizen, this innings was personal. After a slow start to his SA20 campaign and beginning this match on 6 off 8 balls, Esterhuizen finally found his timing in the power play. Once he cleared his front leg, the momentum shifted instantly. He punished anything on his pads, took on Nortje's short balls, and carved Marco Jansen through the covers with authority. His 28-ball 50 was his first for Pretoria Capitals and a rare bright spot in an otherwise forgettable night for the hosts. If the bat didn't break Pretoria's spirit, Quinton de Kock certainly did behind the stumps. After already producing one of the catches of the tournament earlier this season, de Kock went even better in Centurion. With Andre Russell attempting to launch, a mistimed edge flew wide, and de Kock responded with a stunning one-handed diving catch that will feature in highlight reels for years. It summed up the night. Everything Sunrisers Eastern Cape touched turned to gold. If Pretoria Capitals believed 176 might be defendable, Quinton de Kock and Johnny Bairstow erased that hope within minutes. From the very first over, the tone was brutal. Boundaries flowed effortlessly. Timing was pristine, fielders were reduced to spectators. The opening pair smashed 13 fours and 12 sixes in a flawless, unbeaten stand, the highest opening partnership in Sunrisers Eastern Cape history and the second highest in SA20 overall. By the end of the power play, SEC were 66 without loss, needing just 111 from 14 overs. There was no pressure, no risk, and no panic. Then came the over that defined the match. Facing Keshav Maharaj, Johnny Bairstow unleashed absolute carnage. 6, 6, 6, 4. 6. 6. It was the most expensive over in SA20 history. Bairstow brought up his 50 off 35 balls and never looked back. What was once 61 needed off 9 overs instantly dropped to 27 off 8. The bonus point was inevitable. Bairstow finished 85 not out, while Quinton de Kock remained unbeaten on 79, sealing the first ever 10-wicket win in a completed SA20 match. This victory sends Sunrisers Eastern Cape straight to the top of the points table, 2 points clear at the halfway stage of the group phase. More importantly, it highlights their terrifying balance, elite pace bowling, world-class fielding, and an opening partnership capable of ending matches inside 15 overs. For Pretoria Capitals, the concerns are mounting. With just one win from 5 matches, they sit outside the playoff positions and are running out of room for error. Tactical missteps, inconsistent batting, and an inability to control power play damage are problems that need immediate fixing. A record-breaking chase, a flawless opening stand, and a reminder that when Sunrisers Eastern Cape, they are almost impossible to stop. Is this the most dominant team in SA20 right now? And can Pretoria Capitals recover before it's too late? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Low scores. Turning pitch, spinners in complete control. For a moment, Durban felt less like South Africa and more like Delhi. In the 6th match, what looked like a routine league game turned into a tactical masterclass, as Joburg Super Kings outthought, outbowled, and outplayed Durban's Super Giants in a gripping low-scoring encounter. Bowled out for just 86, Super Giants never truly recovered, and by the time Riley Rosso took control, the result felt inevitable. Let's break down how this match was decided long before the final ball. A pitch that changed everything. From the very first over, it was clear this was not a surface for stroke making. The pitch was slow, two-paced, and tailor-made for bowlers who could take pace off the ball. Joburg Super Kings read it perfectly. They opened the bowling with spin, a bold but decisive call. Subrayan sets the trap. Prenilan Subrayan was the architect of Super Giants' collapse. His figures of 3 for 16, packed with 15-dot balls, choked the innings entirely. He struck early. Devon Conway fell for 4 in his first over. Kane Williamson followed for 2. Jos Buttler never found momentum, dismissed for 12. By the end of the power play, Durban's Super Giants were 23 for 3, already fighting the pitch rather than the opposition. Middle overs, no escape. The struggles continued through the middle. Aiden Markram tried to anchor the innings, scoring 22 off 27, but fluency never arrived. Just as acceleration looked possible, Faf du Plessis produced a stunning catch at wide long off to remove him. Moments later, du Plessis struck again at short cover as Ethan Bosch edged one from Akil Hossain. At 62 for 6, Super Giants were sinking fast. Gleeson and the final collapse. The end came swiftly. Richard Gleeson ripped through the tail, finishing with 3 for 2, as every single Super Giants wicket fell to a catch. From start to finish, it was a textbook bowling performance. Durban's Super Giants were bowled out for just 86. The chase, a brief twist. The second innings didn't begin smoothly either. Simon Harmer fought back with the new ball, dismissing Wyan Mulder and conceding only 9 runs across his 3 power play overs. Super Kings stumbled to 26 for 3 after 6 overs, and suddenly the contest looked alive. But one man saw the pitch differently. Rosso reads the game. Riley Rosso played the defining innings of the match. Standing deep in his crease, he swung cleanly through the line, adjusting better than anyone to the slow surface. His 43 off 32 balls, with 5 fours and 1 6, accounted for nearly half the target. He targeted pace intelligently and punished Noor Ahmad, especially in the 9th over that went for 16 runs. Even when edges flew, Rosso stayed in control. The moment that sealed it. Noor Ahmad eventually bowled Rosso in the 12th over, but by then, the match was already drifting away. At 75 for 3, the finish was inevitable. Donovan Ferreira ended the game in style, smashing Ethan Bosch for a 4 and a 6, as Joburg Super Kings cruised home with 6 wickets in hand. This match was won in the first 6 overs. Joburg Super Kings understood the pitch, trusted spin early, and forced Super Giants into mistakes. In contrast, Durban Super Giants relied too heavily on pace, a costly misread on a surface demanding patience and variation. The result sends Super Kings to second position on the points table, secured with a bonus point victory, while Super Giants are left with serious questions about adaptability. In a game where timing was impossible and aggression was punished, intelligence ruled. Joburg Super Kings didn't just win, they outthought their opponents. On a night built for spinners and composure, one team adjusted, the other didn't. And that made all the difference. That's all that separated survival from disaster at Boland Park. In a night packed with pressure, drama, and momentum swings, Paarl Royals pulled off a heart-stopping one-run victory over defending champions MI Cape Town, leaving the title holders winless after 4 matches and stuck at the bottom of the SA20 table. This was not just a match, this was a reminder of how brutal T20 cricket can be. Paarl Royals set the tone. After being bowled out for just 49 in their previous home game, Paarl Royals had something to prove, and they responded in emphatic fashion. Young opener Luandre Pretorius delivered a career-defining knock, anchoring the innings with a stunning 98 not out, his highest score in T20 cricket. Partnering him early was SA20, who played the perfect supporting role with a fluent 51, as the pair dismantled a highly rated MI Cape Town bowling attack. The opening stand was ruthless. 13 runs came off Kagiso Rabada's first over. 16 runs each were taken off Dane Pite and Rashid Khan. Tribe punished anything short, while Pretorius used his feet brilliantly, particularly against Rabada. Together, they stitched Paarl's third highest opening partnership in SA20 history. Tribe eventually fell to Rashid Khan, caught on the deep mid-wicket boundary, but the damage had already been done. Pretorius chases history. On a pitch known to slow down, Paarl's innings stalled slightly between overs 10 and 15, managing just 30 runs, even with David Miller at the crease. But Pretorius held firm. A slog swept 6 off George Linda in the 16th over pushed him into the 60s, and despite tight bowling late on, Paarl reached the final over at 166 for 3, with Pretorius on 84. The final over was pure drama. Facing Kagiso Rabada, Pretorius edged a slower ball for 4, benefited from a wide, and dragged another delivery into the leg side to move into the 90s. With help from Delano Potgiater, who ran tirelessly, Pretorius reached 98 with 1 ball remaining. Rabada had the final say. A wide Yorker denied Pretorius a maiden T20 century, but Paarl Royals finished on 181 for 3, their highest total at Boland Park. MI Cape Town's chase promised to pain. Chasing 182, MI Cape Town started strongly. Despite the difficulty of chasing big totals at Boland Park, where 160 plus had only been chased once before, MICT looked in control early. They raced to 109 for 1 after 12 overs, with Ryan Rickelton and Rassie van der Dussen leading the charge. Rickelton, fresh off discussions around his T20 World Cup omission, struck 36, while van der Dussen played a reminder innings of his own, smashing 59 off 42 balls. 1 over changed everything. In the final over of the power play, van der Dussen dismantled Otniel Bartman, launching 3 sixes in 4 balls, showcasing his class and composure. MICT ended the power play at 64 without loss and were cruising. The collapse that defined the match. Then came the turning point. Othniel Bartman and Sikander Raza ripped the heart out of MI Cape Town's chase. In just 18 balls, MICT lost 5 wickets for 9 runs. The collapse was sudden, brutal, and stunning. One of the biggest talking points was Jason Smith, the surprise inclusion in South Africa's T20 World Cup squad. Under intense scrutiny, Smith managed just 1 run, falling LBW to Bartman after being talked out of a review by Nicholas Pooran. From dominance to desperation, MICT suddenly needed 50 runs from 4 overs. 30 from the last 2, 15 from the final over. Late fight, final heartbreak. Hope returned through a spirited 51-run partnership between George Linda and Rashid Khan for the 7th wicket. The tension was unbearable. But once again, Othniel Bartman delivered. He broke the partnership in the final over, dismissed Kagiso Rabada, and finished with outstanding figures of 4 for 51. In the process, Bartman became just the second bowler in SA20 history, after Marco Jansen, to reach 50 wickets. MI Cape Town closed on 180 for 8. 1 run short. This defeat leaves MI Cape Town winless after 4 games, having failed to chase down the tournament's highest targets both at home and away. For Paarl Royals, this was a statement victory, built on fearless batting, disciplined bowling, and a standout performance from Luandre Pretorius, whose return to form could shape their season. On a slow pitch where execution mattered most, Paarl held their nerve. MICT did not. 1 run decided everything. For Paarl Royals, it was redemption. For MI Cape Town, another night of frustration. Can the defending champions recover from this start, or is this season slipping away already? Let us know your thoughts. What was supposed to be a record-breaking chase turned into a nightmare at Newlands. Pretoria Capitals, winless until now, walked into this clash under pressure. MI Cape Town, the defending champions, were desperate for answers. But by the end of the night, it wasn't just a loss, it was a statement defeat. An explosive finish, a brutal collapse, and a reminder that momentum can flip fast in SA20. Capitals recover, then explode. Pretoria Capitals looked in serious trouble early. At 38 for 3 inside 5 overs, the innings was wobbling. Then came the stabilizer. An 88-run 4th wicket partnership between Shai Hope and Wihan Lub rebuilt the innings with composure and intent. They took Capitals to 126 for 4 by the 15th over, laying the platform. Both fell before the death overs, but that only opened the door for chaos. Brevis and Rutherford light up Newlands. What followed was sheer destruction. Dewald Brevis and Sherfane Rutherford smashed 84 runs in just 27 balls. The final 3 overs alone produced 72 runs. Brevis announced himself with a no-look 6 off Trent Boult, then kept swinging. Rutherford went even bigger, dismantling Dwayne Pretorius with power hitting to all parts. The result? Pretoria Capitals finished on a massive 220 for 5. MICT began the chase with intent. At 100 for 2 in the 9th over, they were actually ahead of the required rate. But then, everything unraveled. A dramatic collapse saw them lose 7 wickets for just 35 runs. From control to chaos, the home crowd watched celebrations evaporate. The innings folded for 135, handing Capitals an 85-run victory and all 5 points. Rutherford shines with bat and ball. After finishing the innings with the bat, Sherfane Rutherford returned to haunt his former side. His figures, 4 for 24, sealed the collapse and underlined his all-round impact. Rabada's return raises confidence. After nearly 10 weeks away, Kagiso Rabada looked sharp early. He removed Bryce Parsons with movement and bounce and kept things tight up front. Though he went for runs later, his rhythm and pace were encouraging with the T20 World Cup approaching. Rickelton's luck runs out. Ryan Rickelton rode his luck again, dropped twice early. But this time, fortune deserted him. Once he fell for 33, MICT lost stability and never recovered. Maharaj owns New Year's Eve. Keshav Maharaj delivered when it mattered most. Bowling just after the power play, he broke the chase open with control, turn, and discipline. His spell strangled the middle overs and triggered the decisive collapse. This wasn't just a win for Pretoria Capitals, it was a reset. From bottom of the table to a dominant 5-point haul, they finally announced themselves. For MI Cape Town, the questions are piling up. 3 games, 3 losses, and serious concerns about closing chases under pressure. SA20 has a new spark, and if this match is any indication, the season is only getting hotter. What went wrong for MICT, tactics or temperament? Let the debate begin. What started as a match heading toward a 200-plus total ended in a complete collapse. Sunrisers Eastern Cape looked in full control, Pretoria Capitals looked settled in the chase. But one delivery changed everything. This is how Quinton de Kock, Matthew Breitsch, and Adam Milne turned match 5 into a one-sided finish. Sunrisers Eastern Cape built strong, but missed 200. After an early setback with Johnny Bairstow dismissed by Lungi Njidi in just the second over, Sunrisers Eastern Cape found stability and dominance. Quinton de Kock and Matthew Breitsch stitched together a commanding 116-run partnership, controlling the tempo through the power play. By the end of 6 overs, SEC had raced to 64 runs, smashing 5 sixes, 4 of them off de Kock's. One effortless loft over mid-off against Njidi summed up his authority. De Kock brought up his 50 off just 29 balls, while Breitsch, initially steady, shifted gears rapidly, moving from 25 off 20 to a half-century in 30 balls. When de Kock was stumped for 77 off 47 balls in the 14th over, SEC looked firmly on course for a massive total. Capitals fight back at the death. Jordan Herman provided late momentum, striking boundaries almost immediately and exploding in the 17th over with a 4 and a 6. At 168 for 3, SEC had their sights set on 200. But Timo Mills and Lungi Njidi executed perfectly at the death. Slower balls into the pitch strangled the scoring rate, conceding just 20 runs in the final 3 overs. Herman fell for 37 off 20, and SEC settled for 188 for 6, a strong total, but slightly below their early promise. The chase, Capitals start well. Pretoria Capitals began confidently. At 49 for 1 after 5 overs, Shy Hope was flying, 36 off 18 balls, hammering 5 fours and a 6, including 3 boundaries off Anrich Nort. Momentum was firmly with the Capitals. Then came Adam Milne. A back-of-the-hand slower ball, Yorker length. And Hope's off stump was shattered. The game turned instantly. Collapse triggered by 1 ball. Lewis Gregory removed DeWald Brevis, but Will Smeed looked settled and in control. With 92 needed off 58 balls and 7 wickets in hand, the chase was still alive. Then Sanuran Mutasamy delivered a left-arm spinner's dream. The ball drifted, dipped, turned, and clipped the top of middle. Smeed gone for 35. That wicket triggered a collapse, 3 wickets for 14 runs, and from there, Pretoria Capitals never recovered. Adam Milne continued to dismantle the middle order. Connor Esterhuizen bowled by another slower ball, a costly mix-up leading to Wihan Love's run-out. 2 more wickets in the 17th over, Keshav Maharaj and Sherfane Rutherford. Though Rutherford fought with 25 off 19 balls, it was far too much to do. Pretoria Capitals were eventually bowled out for 140. This match was defined by control and composure. Sunrisers Eastern Cape dominated key phases despite missing 200. Their bowlers adapted brilliantly, especially Milne, whose variations destroyed the chase. Mutasamy's wicket of Smeed was the decisive turning point. A 48-run victory and a valuable bonus point underlined SEC's authority. From a threatening Capitals chase to a complete collapse in under 10 overs. Sunrisers Eastern Cape made their moments count, and Adam Milne made sure there was no comeback. Was that the turning point of the season for SEC? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. New Year's Day 2026 delivered pure chaos, raw emotion, and history at the Wanderers. For the first time ever in Betway SA20, a match was decided by a super over, and what unfolded between Joburg Super Kings and Durban Super Giants will be remembered as one of the most dramatic nights the league has ever seen. A last ball run out, a tied score at 205. And a super over that flipped the table standings. This was SA20 drama at its absolute peak. The Wanderers was buzzing from the very start, and Joburg Super Kings made sure they set the tone early. Captain Faf du Plessis led from the front with a fluent 47 off 30 balls, combining with Matthew de Villiers, who chipped in with 38 off 26, as the pair raced to an explosive 89-run opening stand in just 8.4 overs. But momentum briefly swung when Durban's Super Giants introduced their spin attack. Afghanistan star Noor Ahmad was sensational, delivering one of the finest spells of the tournament, 3 wickets for just 12 runs. He was backed brilliantly by Simon Harmer, who conceded only 22 runs and took a wicket, as the duo strangled JSK through the middle overs. Together, they gave away just 33 runs in 8 overs. Just when it looked like the Super Giants had clawed their way back, Shubham Ranjane took control. The US international produced a match-defining innings, scoring his maiden Betway SA20 half-century, an unbeaten 50 off 31 balls, laced with 4 boundaries and 2 towering sixes. He first rebuilt momentum with Wyan Mulder in a steady 64-run partnership, before unleashing complete mayhem at the death. Ranjane then joined forces with wicketkeeper Donovan Ferreira, and the duo detonated the final overs with an unbroken 49-run stand off just 16 balls. Ferreira was unstoppable, 33 not out off 10 balls, smashing 4 sixes, as JSK surged to 205 for 4. While the spin unit shone for DSG, their seamers struggled badly. David Wiese, Ethan Bosch, and Kwena Mafaka leaked a combined 159 runs from just 11 overs, a decisive factor in the contest. Chasing 206, Durban's Super Giants showed intent early, with their entire top 6 getting starts, but crucially, no one converted. The game changed when Captain Aiden Markram and Evan Jones came together. Their blistering 60-run stand-off just 24 balls dragged DSG right back into contention and reignited belief in the visiting dugout. But just as the pressure peaked, Richard Gleeson struck gold. Markram was caught at long on off Gleeson, who finished with 3 for 41, triggering a dramatic collapse at the death. Jones kept fighting, hammering 43 off 17 balls, but chaos followed. He was run out off the first ball of the penultimate over, and on the very next delivery, Gleeson clean bowled David Wiese, swinging momentum firmly back toward JSK. Yet the drama wasn't done. With 15 runs required off the final over, Wyan Mulder was thrown the ball. Ethan Bosch smashed a 6 off the second delivery. Mulder bowled 2 costly wides. Then Simon Harmer struck a boundary off the penultimate ball to level the scores. Everything came down to the final delivery. And that's when Donovan Ferreira delivered magic. A lightning-fast throw. The stumps shattered. Bosch was run out. 205 all out. The match was tied. History was made as Betway SA20 witnessed its first ever super over. Richard Gleeson once again stepped up for JSK. He nearly had Evan Jones caught at long off the very first ball, but held his nerve magnificently. Tight lines, calm execution, and on the final ball, Jones was run out. Durban's Super Giants managed just 5 runs. That target was never going to be enough. JSK sent out Riley Rosso, and he wasted no time. Facing Noor Ahmad, Rosso smashed 2 boundaries, sealing the super over in emphatic fashion and sending the Wanderers into celebration mode. This win propelled Joburg Super Kings to the top of the Betway SA20 table, making them the only unbeaten team in the competition after 3 straight victories. It was also a night dominated by one man. Donovan Ferreira was named player of the match, winning 55.6% of the fan vote. He also collected multiple post-match awards, underlining his all-round impact with bat, gloves, and nerves of steel. For Durban's Super Giants, despite the brilliance of Noor Ahmad and Simon Harmer, costly death bowling and missed moments proved decisive in one of the tightest finishes the league has ever seen. A tied game. A super over. And a New Year's Day thriller that redefined drama in Betway SA20. If this match is any indication, the 2026 season is just getting started, and it's already delivering unforgettable moments. What did you think of that final over and super over drama? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The SA20 2025 season opens with a statement. The league's fourth edition begins exactly how fans dreamed it would: tension, power hitting, and a finish that went right down to the wire. On one side, the defending champions MI Cape Town, a team expected to dominate. On the other, last year's bottom-place challengers, Durban's Super Giants, walking in with something to prove. And they did more than just prove a point. They stunned the champions by 15 runs in a 449-run thriller that immediately sets the tone for this season. Durban's Super Giants set the tempo with authority. Their innings started with a composed but controlled assault from Devon Conway and Kane Williamson. Both men brought the international calm of a New Zealand top order, crafting a 96-run opening partnership that gave DSG the foundation they needed. Conway's 64 held the innings together, Williamson added 40, and with that opening blend of precision and smart placement, they cruised to 68 by the end of the power play. But this match was not just about the start. When MI Cape Town fought back and removed 3 wickets for 41 runs, the momentum felt like it was shifting. DSG needed impact, and they got it. Explosive bursts from Heinrich Klaassen, Aiden Markram, Evan Jones, and David Weiss flipped the pressure straight back. Stands of 32 off 19, 34 off 18, and 29 off 10 balls lifted the total to a commanding 232 for 5. It was a score that demanded brilliance to chase. This chase was all about one man, Ryan Rickelton. Recently dropped from the South African T20I squad, his response was decisive. He smashed 113 off 63 deliveries, an innings that included 11 sixes, the most in any SA20 innings to date. It was powerful, controlled, and at times fearless. His partnerships with Reza Hendricks and, more importantly, with Jason Smith, kept MI Cape Town alive. Smith's counterattack was brutal, 41 runs off 14 balls. Sixes, strike rotation, and calculated risk. For a moment, Cape Town were ahead of the match. But the game changed in the last 12 balls. MI Cape Town needed 31 runs with 6 wickets in hand, and DSG turned to young pace. Quina Mafaka and Ethan Bosch delivered the moment of the match. 3 wickets fell for just 15 runs. The champions stalled, the noise of Newlands faded, and MI Cape Town were forced to watch the game slip away. They finished 217 for 7. Close, compelling, but not enough. This match matters because Durban's Super Giants were not expected to walk into this season and steal headlines. They did. Their inexperienced seamers held their nerve under pressure, and their batting blueprint, stable base, explosive finish, looks ready for the season. For MI Cape Town, the batting talent is still present, but questions now surround middle over control and late overs composure. And one final note, the fielding. Rashid Khan took one of the catches of the tournament early on, but dropped 3 later. In a match decided by inches, those moments hurt. The defending champions are shaken. The underdogs have arrived. The SA20 2025 season is open, and it has already produced a statement. Where do both teams go from here? What do you think? Should Rickelton walk straight back into South Africa's T20I plans? And can the Super Giants build consistency from this? Let us know in the comments, and stay with us for every major update from the SA20. New Year's Eve cricket at St. George's Park promised fireworks, but one man had other plans. As the crowd waited for a miracle and the Sunrisers Eastern Cape sensed another victory, David Miller silenced the celebration with a captain's knock that flipped the script completely. This wasn't just a run chase, this was experience versus momentum, and experience won. In the 7th match of Betway SA20 Season 4, Paarl Royals pulled off a thrilling chase against Sunrisers Eastern Cape, sealing their first win of the season in dramatic fashion. Batting first, the Sunrisers were bundled out for 149, never truly gaining full control of the innings. Early resistance came from Johnny Bairstow, who struck 33, and Jordan Herman, who top-scored with a composed 47. But just as the Sunrisers looked to rebuild, a teenage storm hit them hard. Entered Kobani Makona, the 19-year-old seamer, playing only his second Betway SA20 match, delivered a sensational spell, 4 for 34, including the prized power play wicket of Quinton de Kock. Backing him up was Otniel Bartman, enjoying a return to familiar territory with figures of 3 for 36. The Sunrisers never recovered from those blows. Chasing 150, the Royals' innings began in chaos. Marco Jansen and Anrich Nortje tore through the top order, reducing Paarl to a disastrous 35 for 4. Back in the pavilion were Luandre Pretorius, Asa Tribe, Ruben Herman, and Kyle Verin. Jansen also reached a major milestone, his 50th Betway SA20 wicket, underlining his dominance. At that moment, the match was slipping away. That's when the captain walked in. With calm authority and ruthless precision, David Miller absorbed the pressure and began rebuilding the innings. He found the perfect partner in Keegan Lion Cachet, the rising star who played beyond his years. Lion Cachet contributed a crucial 45 off 40 balls, rotating strike and holding firm while Miller went on the attack. Together, they stitched a match-defining 114-run partnership for the 5th wicket, completely changing the momentum. Miller was relentless. Sixes flowed. Gaps opened. The required rate collapsed. Lion Cachet fell just short of the finish line, but by then, the damage was done. As the game tightened, the St. George's Park crowd roared, hoping for a super over to cap off New Year's Eve. Instead, heartbreak. A wide ball from Lewis Gregory sealed the deal, confirming Paarl Royals' victory with 2 balls remaining and 5 wickets in hand. David Miller finished unbeaten on a commanding 71 off just 38 deliveries, a knock packed with authority, timing, and leadership. This win was more than just 2 points for the Royals. It lifted them off the bottom of the table, restoring belief after a tough start to the season. For the Sunrisers, despite the loss, they remained top of the Betway SA20 standings with 10 points, heading into the new year firmly in control. The night belonged to David Miller, and the awards confirmed it. Player of the Match, David Miller. Its reigning Sixes award, David Miller, 5 sixes. Switch Game Changer, David Miller. ABSA Moneyball Saver, Bjorn Fortuin, 14 balls. DP World Dispatch of the Day, Jordan Herman. Leadership. Composure. Class. New Year's Eve belonged to the Sunrisers, until David Miller decided otherwise. A captain's innings. A teenage sensation announced, and a season-defining win for Paarl Royals. What did you make of Miller's knock, one of the best chases in SA20 history so far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. MI Cape Town's title defense is officially in crisis. At Newlands, a ground known for big scores, they collapsed to a shocking 88 all-out. What followed was a ruthless response from Paarl Royals, powered by a spin masterclass and a calm finish from David Miller. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a statement. MI Cape Town entered this match under pressure, having already lost 3 of their first 4 games. Choosing to bat first at a traditionally high-scoring venue, they hoped to reset their campaign. Instead, they ran straight into a disciplined and clever Paarl Royals bowling attack. From the outset, the Royals dictated terms. Spin was introduced early through Bjorn Fortuin, while pace duties were smartly rotated between Kobani Makona and Otniel Bartman. The result was suffocating. MI Cape Town crawled to just 33 runs in the power play, hitting only 2 boundaries. Both openers were dismissed cheaply. Rassie van der Dussen sliced Sikander Raza to square leg, and Ryan Rickelton miscued Makona to mid-off. At the halfway stage, MI Cape Town were 53 for 2, and the pressure only intensified. The turning point came with Sikander Raza completely taking control. Jason Smith, under scrutiny after his surprise T20 World Cup selection, failed to deliver, bowled by Raza for just 4. Moments later, George Linda offered a simple return catch, and Rashid Khan mishit a slog, with David Miller completing a sharp catch in the deep. Raza finished with a stunning 4 for 13, backed superbly by Bartman's 2 for 8 and Makona's 2 for 10. MI Cape Town were bowled out for 88, their lowest ever SA20 score batting first, and the lowest first innings total at Newlands in the competition's history. Chasing just 89, the Royals had a brief wobble when Luandre Pretorius was dismissed by a trademark Trent Bolt outswinger. Ruben Herman survived an early scare, and that moment proved crucial. It was SA20 who took the game away. Confident, composed, and fearless, Tribe attacked both Bolt and Kagiso Rabada, smashing boundaries and sixes to put the result beyond doubt inside the power play. He raced to 34 off 28 balls, setting the tone for a stress-free chase. Although both Tribe and Herman fell before the finish, there was no drama. Kyle Verin and